What's up, YouTube? God4Man221 here, and welcome back to another episode on Season 3 of my Company of Heroes 2 online series. So we're doing a 3 vs 3 on steps. This map has been in Company of Heroes 2 since the very first beta, back when there's just the Wehrmacht and the OKW. Oh, sorry, the Wehrmacht and the Soviets. Jeez, man. Okay. Anyway, so I'm playing as the Soviets on with Nick and Lipton, and we're going against Twitch, Hacksaw, and Alien Man, and you can see their little bulletins there. I've basically been liking the armored assault tactics of the Soviets because this allows me to get T-34-85s, and that's a pretty, that's a decent tank. It's a lot more, I don't want to say tanky. It's a very good tank compared to the T-34-76. It has a much bigger gun on it, and it costs a decent amount more fuel, but it seems to be a lot more durable. Anyway, so the plan is I'm going to take the Southern Victory point and the fuel there, and Nick is going to support me early on, or he'll really support whoever needs it, right? So you can see the OKW player is going to start rushing forward with his Kupelwagen. And yeah, he's going to get doubled in the center here, so Nick's going to go help him. You can see he didn't even connect the point, actually, so he's just trying to take the field, definitely rushing for it. But now you have these guys getting on the field point, which will deny that to Lipton. And he is forced to fall back there. We have multiple kind of pioneer builders there, and the machine gun is going to come up. We also have a machine gun from Nick, who's going to help out. And Nick is also helping me in the south a little bit. He's getting suppressed currently. And I'm taking the field down here, and you know what? When you have 10 rifles shooting at you, I wouldn't take that too lightly, especially when you're in negative cover. So between my 6 conscripts and my combat engineer squad, we were able to push these guys back. And yeah, it's definitely a big fight here. We also have a mortar out for Nick, who's bombarding the middle area there. So I'm kind of skirmishing almost with my opponents here. I realize we need to start targeting this unit right here because point blank it's going to do a whole lot more damage than these guys. So they should start falling pretty quickly with all my guys shooting at them. They're forced to fall back, and then we can focus on those guys who are forced to fall back also. Now I'm sure at this point my opponent would turn his machine gun around to the left side there. So I'm going to attack from both sides. So in case he turned, which I see that he's doing now, I can at least outflank him, right? But we're going to do the oorah, get around him. Gotta love it. Anyway, so his MG is going to be forced to pull back here. And I am losing conscript squads left and right, but I'm still shooting at this MG. My own MG should be out here soon. I'm going to have to pull back with this squad here if I'm not careful. But these guys keep getting killed that are manning the gun there. And yep, his MG is going to get killed here. But we're point blank with these guys, and we're low health, so I got to fall back with this squad here. I'm going to lose them. Anyway, the middle has fallen to our enemies here, our opponents. And so is the northern part. Nick has got to be careful. He's going to get his guys rifle grenaded. I mean, not from that squad, maybe a grenade. But they have to take back that center. I'm barely holding the south down here, but I am holding it. And really, I just need to get my guys into combat. I'm making even more conscript squads. I'm going for 4 conscript squads, which is a lot. That's a lot for me. I'm not going for MGs. I don't really see the use of them just this early on against what I'm going against. You need the maneuverability. Anyway, that guy stole the MG42 from me. I was hoping to man that. Anyway, I'm just going to pull back with this MG here to the fuel. That's what I really need to protect. We can always make up for VPs later on. In fact, right now it's tied on VPs because they haven't taken the far north on, but they're doing that right now. And all my conscripts are going to start flowing back to the lines. And these guys will come out as soon as possible. Yeah, they just pop right out of the building. Wouldn't it be cool if they had an animation where the guy actually came out from this little dugout here? Like, you just saw him. I don't know. There's like no door for them to actually come out. I know I'm looking like too much into the design of the buildings, but I think you can sometimes see the MG pop out of that building that way. Anyway, I do have the radio intercept, so you can see I'm seeing that they're building. I'm seeing what kind of buildings they're getting and also what kind of things what kind of units they're making now. Negative cover. These guys have already been injured previously, and they're suppressed now. Keep in mind when I said at long range, those guys are quite good. And I'm going to pull back and try to protect my machine gun. I'll even get behind this cover if I need to. More conscripts are flowing into the field here, so I'm going to outnumber my opponent here by a lot. In fact, I wonder really what my opponent has. I mean, he has 2 Grenadier squads. He's making some Panzer Grenadiers, it looks like, right here. Let's double check. Yeah, let's actually hop on them Twitch here and see what... Yeah, he's going to have a lot of manpower. And my allies managed to neutralize the fuel there, so that is going to slow down the Wehrmacht war machine. And I'm like, let's go. Let's do it. I feel like we're the charge in Call of Duty 1. We just have all the conscripts charging over the field here, and we just have so many numbers. We're going to overwhelm the German forces here. And look at that. And now they're trying to like run away from the other part of my it's almost like a blob here. I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit of a blob, but just have a lot of units here, and we're going to overwhelm them and push them back again. So just by sheer numbers, I'm starting to win this. And the center's still neutralized, but you can see grenades are going off, and they're having a tough time. Because Lipton's also fighting up north here. I managed to wipe out a machine gun. Very nice, very nice. So Lipton kind of left Nick in the middle here. They're going to actually do a very smart thing. They're going to salvage the MG so he can't man it, and they also get fuel of their own. And around this point, Nick was saying I need someone to cover my flank. I'm probably going to get outflanked here. So I said in a second here, I'll get you, Nick. I'll try to cover your flank. And as I start moving units over to do that, as in this unit, it's too late. Nick's MG is going to get outflanked and tossed with a grenade on it. So, very unfortunate. I was kind of focused on, I'm trying to like set up some kind of defenses. I do have some sandbags here. I'm keeping these guys here because I don't want to retreat them all the way back, because I'm about to, I have these guys back at base. I'm about to build the battalion command, which will allow me to get the very nice half track. Yo, I'm really looking forward to when the British come out here in about 2 weeks here. I think that'll be definitely a lot of fun to have the British. However, I hope I don't have a lot of, you know, it's the first couple weeks of college. They'll definitely have to kind of figure out what the teachers actually want, and just, you know, you can write a paper for a teacher, you'll get an A, and then you get a C from another teacher. It's really what they look for, so you gotta kind of have to figure them out. I am taking, wow, look at this blob. Talk about me, blob, look at him. I am taking a cool class on, basically, it's about World War II Germany and Italy. And I took a class called Modern Germany last fall with the same professor, who was really nice. But we're talking about Company of Heroes 2 tactics here, enough about me. Taking fun classes on World War II history. Anyway, so look how vet these guys are. So he's using a lot of fuel to veteran up his troops here, and they're going to just destroy my conscripts here. Like, look at all this veterancy. I'm in trouble. And my AT gun's trying to get up here, but it's... Only if this attack had come a minute later, my AT would have been in position, because this scout car is going to do a lot of damage to my conscripts, especially aware of rifle grenades, which could actually almost wipe out full squads here. And I'm starting to shoot at this guy here, and my men start running. And they're just getting slaughtered at this point. They're in the open here. Very poor decision to me to execute the attack order with my troops. But all is not lost. We have the half track. And look, the AT is like right here, but too late, guys. Too late. And his guy is like has his main gun destroyed, so he can't really do a whole lot. He's just got the... Actually, has nothing. He's basically defenseless. Anyway, you can see Nick with the... Sorry, you can see Lipton with the AA half tracks. Finally secure the north again. What I'm going to focus on is this nice quad mount. Gotta say, this is like, if you're a Soviet player, you just have to use this every time you play. Like, you need it really badly. Look how fast that kills that thing. And he's popping smoke. Now, I'm very aware of his guys with a Panzer Shrek, and I know he did have troops that were very veteran with Panzer Shrek. Sorry, these guys would shoot a Panzer Faust. I was aware of a Panzer Faust hitting my half-track here. Anyway, I'm not giving up that easy. This is all built up, grabbing my conscripts again, and we're going to be able to push up with my half-track and keep reinforcing and fight and push these guys back, because right now we're losing on victory points. And you can see it's kind of a mortar, you know, they're dug in on this position up here, and it's a little bit of a mortar barrage between Nick and the OKW player, who is fortified up here on this hill. And you can see he's getting doubled, him and Lipton. Well, they're both fighting in the same area here. They're losing squads though. Unit preservation is not that great. Anyway, I'm moving up. I'm gonna start suppressing these units here. I'm fully aware of Panzer Grenadiers and Panzer Shreks, and they are priority number 1. I see them moving around, so they're gonna get suppressed here. No actual kills on this yet. I almost lost that squad there. These guys are pinned, so I'm gonna push up. And I don't think you realize that this scout car is actually probably going to lose to my half-track. But yeah, 5 kills so far on my MG. I do have all my conscripts here, so we're going to push this way. I'm very aware. I got to make sure these guys don't flank around. But thankfully my MG is covering this side of the hill here. And I am shooting my very, you know, my half-track is specifically targeting that squad there. I just lost a squad there, but I did manage to kill his... Nice. I did manage to kill his scout car, though. You know, and actually this was targeting a scout car, so instead of falling back here, I'm going to start reinforcing. Once I'm in my own territory, that's when I can reinforce. Never mind. As long as the half-track is kind of in our own territory. Anyway, we're pushing these guys back. He's using all his fuel. Keep in mind, they don't have a ton of fuel because we keep taking it. He's using all his fuel on vetting up his troops here, which can be useful, but keep in mind, you know how expensive it is for the Wehrmacht to even upgrade their tech up, do a new battle phase. Anyway, he's going to start building a bunker, reinforce his men up here at the front line. He's going to try to copy what I've done. Now, I've lost some infantry, which is really not good. About my infantry that's alive is pretty veteran. It's bet 2 here on that squad, and so is this one. So I definitely need some more. Troops. Now I'm gonna get suppressed here, but we have our friendly neighborhood half-track. Gonna force him back. I am just harassing him with this half-track and just being a nuisance with this guy. I mean, I'm just suppressing his troops, killing some of his men. And keep in mind his position, though. I can flank to the north or the south here and envelop him that way. So you can see there is a Puma up north, and we have both fuels right now, so guess what I'm doing? I'm grabbing myself a T-34-85, great tank, and that should pretty much, once I regroup with my forces here, get the T-34-85, we should be able to push and wipe out his forward position here. The Puma is pretty deadly though against certain lighter tanks, like an American Sherman. Anyway, so we have all 3 victory points in both fuels right now. They're going to make another push for the fuel here. You can see Nick is screening with his guard rifleman. Anyway, I should really give my guys Molotovs. Anyway, I'm trying to focus on the MG here with my infantry at least to kill that, and it's gone. So all his men are suppressed. That's multiple squads right there, but they're doing a lot of damage. They just keep reinforcing also. So until they get pinned and we can really start shooting into them, that's when they're going to be in trouble here. Anyway, I got to fall back a little bit. This squad is, I'm going to actually run back with this squad so I can reinforce and make sure they're okay. They're almost dead. I kind of get a little too excited with my T-34. But some of those guys are still suppressed, and I'm going to move up everything I have here, including these units. And we're going to overwhelm this position. And priority target number 1 is going to be these guys right here. And I'm launching an artillery barrage into this area here. So my opponent here is being overwhelmed by the armor I have, and he spent all his fuel on getting veterancy on his troops, so he's able to get a very decent tank and push him back. And I stole his MG, and I can reinforce his MG with my conscripts, which are very cheap to replace. And they've taken the fuel back, and the north has fallen again, but let's see, we've got some minesweepers and a fighting position out there. Anyway, they can now construct panzers, as you heard the German announcer say, because let me know that because of the radio intercepts there. And they have a pack out. So I gotta be careful with my tank here. And I'm trying to figure out where do I want to set up positions, maybe on this side of the river to make it so they have to cross the river. You just gotta say, the Panzer Grenadiers, they are a very cool unit. These guys were like, they were like the Fallschirmjägers, like back in the day when this game was like very brand new. Anyway, I'm building a lot of these sandbags here too, basically trying to make sure I can cover the fuel. So these guys are more focused on this area now, and I'm covering the field from here. And some of my guys are actually negative cover. They need to get behind the sandbags that I actually built, but we're pretty set. I'm pretty confident at this point because I'm able to push up my opponent. You can definitely see there's a 50 fuel difference between these two, and that's for good reason. Anyway, you'd almost think the victory point would be here. I wonder if they put the victory point here in the steppes, and then they put the fuel up north, so you'd have be like an island in that, versus because everyone just fights over the fuel in the middle here. Anyway, he's got to be very careful with his half track, which Nick is pulling back. Thankfully, he's had the AT to kind of screen him. And look at that, 120mm mortar. These guys are such a nuisance. Like, they shoot such a great projectile. They're also great at leveling buildings. And yeah, I would not want to be a machine gunner right here. Even though, I mean, they're in a trench and they're in cover, but you can see the ground's being torn up. And then, yeah, the field gun. So it's a big barrage here. I know you saw him constructing some mines down here. I put some barbed wire to kind of, you know, some people don't realize this, but you can actually walk along this edge here and flank around that way. So that's why I put some barbed wire there and mines around the field here. And you can see Lipton has a easy 8 out. And my opponent seems to have given up fighting me or something. And yeah, he's going after Lipton now. A nice Panzerfaust could have made that pretty much a goner, but Lipton does have infantry to help support. And I'm just like, okay, if you're just going to ignore me, I saw his infantry up there. I'll push on up with tanks. Sounds like a plan to me. And you can see this guy is focused completely on tanks. You can see they're manning the sandbags here, ready for some Soviet panzers. Anyway, my T-34s are moving up. We're going to take out this fuel cache here. My goal is basically to swing around and hit this northern point. This is their strong point here, and if I flank that, they'll be in a lot of trouble. Now, I figured at this point that they would turn their AT this way to, you know, hit my tanks. But they actually haven't yet. And Nick is going to get ready for a charge up there on the hill. I mean, Lipton got out of there with his easy 8 after all. And now they're kind of fortifying along this victory point here. They've neutralized that. The south is completely under my control. Anyway, with Nick's troops up here, I just went a little crazy with my T-34-85s. I'm just going to start destroying mortars and killing officers and other things like that. But I have to be careful because there are a lot of anti-tank guys around and a Puma. So we are going to turn and we are going to run. Just got hit with my rear armor there. Position my men to only be targeting tanks now or buildings. And I'm going to swing around. So I have my rear armor exposed, so I'm going to do a tank maneuver here. Swing and turn our turrets around. And then my infantry's all up here, so we're going to cause a little bit of chaos here. Should have gone Molotovs at this point. And we are actually doing some damage. Now I know I can beat the Puma. Oh, and I'm calling a Sturmovik on this area here. Such a devastating. I'm actually haven't lost any Costume Squads just yet. You know, his Puma can snipe at us, but it's still a Puma, and we are very heavy tanks, and the Sturmovik helped target that. And I'm going to take out this bunker here. My men are being hurt pretty badly, but if they have the mortar here, look at this bunched up group of troops here. And once they saw the tanks with their troops blobbed up here, they decided to surrender. So good game to our opponents. I think what really helped us win this match was holding the fuel, or at least this fuel kept going back and forth. They never were able to hold a stable source of fuel. Now, we could have built all fuel caches and stuff. They tried to build some fuel caches, but ultimately, my use of the half-track and getting the tanks and just being able to basically hold us south the whole match really helped us with the in the fuel department. And then Lipton did a good job of harassing and holding up north, while Nick and Lipton kind of helped double the fuel when we needed it. But really what overall made them surrender was when the infantry charged up the hill and the tanks flanked and destroyed what they thought was their stronghold position on the hill. Anyway, COD4Man221 signing off. I'll show you guys the kills and deaths here of the various forces, and I'll see you in the next episode.